All right, welcome back, everyone, to Get the Net. Quality show lined up with Cooper Gallant and Danny McGarry. A couple Canadian young guns, both beauties. Going to be a good conversation there. They're both chasing the bass dream down south in different facets. So we're going to dive into that. They're tournament partners back home in Eastern Canada, or whatever you call that place over there. That's about 20 hours away from me. Or sorry, it's about 20 hours away from me, as the boys would say. They got a heavy Canadian twang. It's going to sound like probably Bob and Doug McKenzie tonight. Looking forward to talking to these fellas. Hang around with us. We're going to get into it next. Welcome to Get the Net, a fishing podcast that takes a deep dive into competitive events, fishing news, tips, tactics, and most importantly, interviews with some of the most interesting and in-tune anglers from Canada to the central U.S. We're leaving no stone unturned to bring you the most raw and authentic dock talk. My name is Jamie Bruce. While my resume says bass, my frying pan says walleye, and I'm no stranger to the multi-species realm. Whether you're puttering on tackle, driving the bus, cutting the grass, or killing time in a 9 to 5, we'll try to give you something in every episode to take with you on the water, or at the very least, bring you a few laughs. All right, glad to be back. It's been crazy busy on my end, trying to piece all this together with I work a full-time job, and then trying to piecemeal this kind of fishing gig on the side between lube tube videos and social media stuff and podcasts and lining everything up for the Bassmaster Open. So I mean, as you could imagine, it's plenty busy on that front. And when you're stretching yourself this thin already, you throw in a few issues there, whether they be family health issues or things you just don't expect. It really makes it tough. I'm used to stretching it thin and burning it at both ends, but man, it's catching up on me quick. Hopefully get a little bit of a break here, but I am glad I could carve out some time to have this podcast tonight. Like I said, I've been busy as it gets. Just finished up a lake trout ice fishing guide trip over the weekend. Man, what a grind that is. If you haven't guided in the winter ice fishing, on Lake of the Woods or up here in the north, it's a different gig. It's not like wheeling up to just a heated wheelhouse and dropping a couple people off and anything like that. It's, getting up at 5, prepping everything, hopping on a snow machine, jumping around, staying on fish, staying on that auger. Those Strike Master augers have been barking nonstop, just putting them through hell. It's been cupcake weather and I loved being out there. I used to guide in the winter pretty heavily, and I rarely do it anymore. It's kind of a one-off thing now, but man, for the people who do, in rugged conditions and places where you have to stay on fish, and when you're doing that dark to dark grind, there's very few jobs that I've experienced that are that hard. And then you finally get back at dark and you got to thaw out all your gear and plug everything in, and it's not easy. Had a good time though, caught plenty of trout. Smeltinator jig was barking, Z-Man jerk shads. It's all I ever use. It's no secret there. Had all the boys using those, and we caught some really nice ones. We got a couple, one like a mid-teen and a high-teen, and did pretty good on the meat hunting front too. We were able to knock the sides off plenty of perch and walleyes and everything like that. Yeah, good to get out. The weather's been nice. But like I said, man, just stretching her thin. Glad I've got Coop and Danny on tonight. Kind of the reason I reached out to them is because I knew it'd be easy conversation. Doesn't really take any prep. I've been tied up with my boat and rigging all these new 13 rods. And, I know it's hard to listen to a guy complain about rigging up new rods and new electronics and everything. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love doing it. I love what I'm doing. It's a dream come true playing in all this new equipment. But man, it all takes time. It all takes work. So you definitely don't want to underestimate any of these jobs in the fishing industry that I'm currently tackling, because they all take work. This podcast takes a pile of work, believe it or not. There's a lot more that goes into it than meets the eye. So actually, if you want to help out, like this, share it, subscribe to the channel, rate and review. Everyone's been super supportive so far. we're hitting our stride as good as I could ask for. So if we could keep that rocking, that would be much appreciated. Yeah, we got I don't know if anyone caught the last Into the Great Wide Opens. It was kind of a gong show audio wise. It's a live show, so there's a lot that can go wrong there. Um, you know, there's a million things that go wrong. There could be audio issues, there could be conversational issues that, someone might have a slip of the tongue and something comes out that you don't want on live. It's a whole different dynamic. Little bit different there, but we've got Big Fish Bobby Lane on this weekend, so tune into a straight cast Into the Great Wide Opens on Saturday night. It'll be available on all the other podcast platforms as well, Apple, Spotify, LubeTube, all that. I'll put it up on mine too. Gonna be good. We're talking to an absolute legend, $4.5 million tournament wins, and should be a fun show. He's hopping in the Opens this year, and Brad and I are hopefully going to find out why and have a few laughs along the way. So check that one out. And real quick before we get into it, just want a reminder to check out www.btfishing.com. Lots of good stuff on there, especially relevant to ice fishing right now. It's going to be relevant to winter fishing down south, especially around Bassmaster Classic time. If you want to see BT fishing in your tackle retailers, tell them to reach out. Or if you're a retailer yourself, reach out. We've got a heavy enough stock that we can start branching out a little bit more. It doesn't matter if you're US, Canada, Istanbul, wherever. We'll get some jigs in your corner. I actually don't know about the duty rules in Istanbul, so don't call me. North America only for now. But yeah, check that out, www.btfishing.com. And don't forget to check out Strike Master Ice Augers at Lake of the Woods Sports. There's a bunch of good deals going on them right now. I'm firing up a video this week, kind of comparing the Light Flight 24 volt and 40 volt, all weapons, all way better than the dirty old gas pig you might be running now. Definitely a good time to get into them. Better deals than I've ever seen on electric augers, and you really can't go wrong. But keep an eye out for that video. And if you don't want to wait, just creep on down to Lake of the Woods Sports, grab yourself a Strike Master. Now, while you're there, you may as well take a boo at the Omen 36-inch medium heavy lake trout rod. Oof. I've been getting a lot of lake trout questions. What rod do you use? What rod do you use? This one's totally reasonable in price. It's under $100. The 36-inch medium heavy does everything you need. I strapped a couple Axum reels on mine. I got these new 13 fishing reels that are dropping this spring because I'm going down south with them. I don't have a chance to test them out. So if you want to find out how tough your drags are and how tough your components are, bring a reel out and hook it onto a 15-pound lake trout, and it'll tell you pretty quick. And they definitely pass the test there. So I'll be wheeling those down south. But we kind of got off topic there, went from talking about ice fishing lake trout to heading down south with new spinning reels. But anyway, check out 13 Fishing at Lake of the Woods Sports headquarters. And also to come, just waiting on a couple batteries to show up here. I've got these new Powerhouse lithium batteries coming. I've had a lot of questions about them already that obviously I'm not totally ready to answer yet. They're going in the Pro V Bass by next week. And we got the old electric playground humming. Feels like she's on Star Trek with all these rigs. Like it's a pretty wild rig. I do all my own boat rigging, so all this stuff is really intriguing to me. I really like to learn the ins and outs and learn little tricks along the way that I can share with people to help, clean up their electronics and make their experience a little bit easier out there. I used to be a big jumper cable guy and was always the guy needing a boost and just derelict gear. Turning a corner on that pretty hard. So keep an eye out for Powerhouse Lithium. If you want to check them out, it's powerhouselithium.com. And let's bring the boys on here. I'm fired up to talk to them. I don't have anything on the script. Just going to go off the cuff and see how she goes. This outdoor content has been brought to you in part by Nordic Point Lodge. Located in northwestern Ontario, Nordic Point Lodge offers some of the finest fishing Canada has to offer. Whether you're looking for a family-friendly getaway or a corporate retreat, Nordic Point Lodge has you covered. They offer a luxury outdoor experience with 5-star service. Check out the description below for more information. Dano!
I haven't seen my little buddy in a while, or you, Brucey?
Yeah.
Are
we live?
No. You guys don't? What's that? No, we don't do live, bud. You might trip up and say something brutal and ruin your career.
I'm surprised it doesn't happen more, actually, like in podcasts.
I'm usually pretty bad with swearing, so it's kind of good that you get that.
Oh, gloves are off, bud. Gloves are off. Have you been on a podcast before, Danny?
Yeah. Me and Coop did a couple back when we won that FLW there years back, but I haven't done one in a while, so I might be a little rusty, but we'll see what we can do.
That was the Canada Cup.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
What are you up to? Just chilling?
Yeah, staring at a bunch of boxes on a boat that I got to deal with, and a bunch of rods without reels and line, and you know how that goes.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Getting her dialed in.
You all caught up on her, Coop?
No. I mean, the list I had of things to do is much smaller, but I still got a bunch of stuff to do. Like I just started tinkering with tackle yesterday or the day before, and like the boat's not even rigged yet. It almost is. We're like 70% done, but still have one more full day of rigging the boat, and then probably 2 full days of just organizing tackle and getting ready.
Nice. What'd you do the rest of the winter?
I was on the road up until Christmas, right? I went in pre-practice for like 3 weeks, so I got home for Christmas. Christmas was busy, and then I was waiting on some product for the boat, so we really couldn't get anything done until last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I like that though, bud. That's I mean, you kind of have to pick one, time on the water versus being super meticulous about your equipment, and obviously like you have to have your stuff dialed, but like some guys sit in their garage and just over tinker and overthink and overpack, and sounds like you'd just rather be out on the water learning a little bit.
Oh, 100%. I'm like, as far as like tinkering with tackling, being organized, ask Danny. I'm the worst.
Yeah. Let's get right into the nitty. Are you the organized guy, Danny?
I like to stay a little organized. Yeah, I mean, coming down to it, I think when me and Coop fish together, it ends up being a complete shambles. When we're in a tournament, there's rods everywhere, baits everywhere. But yeah, it's always a good time, man. I don't know if I'll get to fish with Coop much anymore, but if we do get the chance this summer, I'm sure it'll be good.
Oh, we have to.
Oh yeah.
I was actually thinking about that the other day. I was looking at the schedule, and it's kind of nice because like we're pretty well done end of August, so like I have all September to fish.
Yeah, there
So I'm
you
gonna
go.
try and do as much as I can back home. And what's the schedule like for you, Dan, in September?
You don't want to see the open schedule in September.
Yeah, it's all over the place, man.
Is it like you guys have more than one event in September?
Yeah, I think there's 2, right? Yeah, there's a back-to-back.
Which is nice because the rest of them are all like 3 weeks apart.
Yeah,
a lot of them.
Yeah, so I think we leave like Bugs Island or something, and then go right to Wheeler. I think that's what it is. Or no, maybe I'm wrong.
No, that's in May. Glad to see I'm not the only person with
I'm completely just spun right out.
No, it's like Lake of the Ozarks and I don't know, Watts Bar or something. I'm as bad as you. I got it right here. I put it as the screensaver on my phone. It's Watts Bar to Lake of the Ozarks mid-September.
Right.
Pretty much the month of September.
Yeah. I'm so pumped you guys are doing all of them. It's awesome. Like Brucey, you last year, like you can obviously catch them real good, and you did good last year. And I remember talking to you, and you weren't sure if you're going to do them this year. You hopped in all 9, and then Dan was kind of the same. Like Dan, you weren't 100% as of a year ago.
Yeah, no, I knew that it would take a lot of work for me to kind of buckle down, and I've been working like 6 days a week like crazy this whole winter. When you were asking Coop what he was doing, I've just been working nonstop trying to get enough money to go down because it's going to be an expensive season. But I really wanted to do all 9. I did 3 of the Northerns there, not last year, the year before, and it was such a good time, and I just wanted to get back down and try, especially after seeing Coop make it last year.
What gave you the final push to sign up? Like, when did you make up your mind for that?
It was this fall. I had it in my mind before I went to that nationals, the BASS nationals. And then I didn't do so hot there, and it just kind of made me mad and wanted it a little more because they gave a good opportunity to obviously make the elites and like through that event. And I didn't do too well there, and I was just like, I need to go try. If I don't try, I'll look back and hate myself for not going down and trying. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I like it. Man, that
Yeah.
place looked like a dump. Like when you guys went to Pickwick in the fall, that looked horrible.
It was terrible, man. It was not a good event. My boat was right next to Will Davis, the guy that ended up winning it. And he was an Alabama boy, and we ended up getting to be real good friends throughout the week, and we were just laughing the whole time. I just kept calling him a sandbagger because I didn't think that he was on him, and he didn't think that I was, and it was brutal, man. One of the toughest events that I've ever fished mentally, and just the fishing was not good.
Man. What do you figure, Coop? Are you man, you've been like you kind of been the town pump when it comes to podcasts the last few months. So I haven't wanted to bug you. I've been letting everyone get it out of the system and ask you all the regular questions, but give us an update, man. For those of you that don't know, which you probably do if you're listening to a Canadian fishing podcast, Coop qualified through all 9 Bassmaster Opens this year to make the Bassmaster Elite Series at the ripe old age of, what are you, like 25?
Yep.
Yeah. That's pretty sweet, bud.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it big time. No, I love coming on podcasts and talking fishing. I really enjoy it. Thanks, Brucey, for having.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Still really hasn't hit me. Like it's starting to hit me, but I don't think it'll really hit me until truck's packed, boat and truck are wrapped, and I'm on my way to Florida. Long drive, time to think about it. I think that's when it'll really start to hit me. But right now, I'm just, focused on making sure I'm organized, got everything in order. That way, when I get down there, I don't have to really think about a whole lot other than to try and catch a bass.
Yeah. And you're, I talked to Gussie the other day. I was like, who are you rooming with for the first one? He's like, I don't know. I asked Coop. He said no. He's probably doing his gypsy thing where he goes and sleeps with a bunch of snakes in a $40 Coleman tent for $8 a night and eats dirt or whatever you do.
No, I like doing my own thing. I already had a place booked. That's why I said no to Gussie.
I'm just bugging you. I don't think he was taking any offense.
No, I know he wasn't. Me and Dad's actually coming down.
Nice one.
Got a little KOA, little cabin right in Okeechobee, so we'll be doing that for the week, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's always good having Dad down there, for sure. And I like doing my own thing, going back to doing not really bunking with anyone. I like I don't like the dog talk. I kind of just like being alone at times, especially like the day before an event or during the event. I don't know. My mind gets in a different place than it would if I were to be with a bunch of people, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. You boys, you stayed together. I loosely followed your kind of first crack at her, or the first time you guys all went, like the two of you went. You guys did one division or two, or how did that look?
Yeah, I think I did one division. Do you end up doing? I can't remember that year, Coop. Did you just do the Northerns too?
Yep, just the Northerns in 2021. Yep.
Right.
Yeah, and we stayed at some cool spots on the James River. We stayed at a cool one, a little campground, and it was a little shed-looking thing, and it was awesome. We were down there for a long time too, like 2 weeks before the event. We went down nice and early, and it was a sweet adventure, man.
That was fun. That was the coolest cabin. It was so small, Brucey. It
like the bubbles shed?
It was like 10 feet by 10 feet, but it was like the coolest spot, like right beside like the upper part of, I don't even remember where
it was actually. So when I think Polnick won that one, didn't he? And he was fishing right by where our cabin was. Like it was it was way up the chick, and he was up around there. So
yeah, we were just on the other side of the dam. But yeah, cool spot. We stayed at some pretty cool to us spots. I don't think too many other people would enjoy staying in a cabin that's 10 feet by 10.
Yeah. Well, you've got a reputation. I tell everyone I know when they ask about you, that you're like, you're super hardcore. Like I talked to you, the first one I went to down at Cherokee, and it was freezing, like below zero a couple nights. And I was like, dude, I can barely hear you on the phone, like at 10 o'clock at night. And you're like, yeah, it's so cold in this tent. I got my shirt pulled over my face. So yeah, I like easily the most hardcore guy I've ever seen for that. Are you gonna travel in a similar fashion, Danny, or you got some boys lined up
So
to go with, or?
there's a guy coming down with me as a co-angler to do it with me, Travis Turcott. He's from Ottawa way. He really wants to get into this whole thing, and he just wanted to come down and try it as a co for a year. So I said, yeah, like obviously come on down with me and just join the ride. It'll be a sweet adventure. So we've got a couple Airbnbs booked, and we're just going to kind of keep it low key, but not stay in the truck and freeze our, what's off, but we'll be keeping her pretty low key.
Yeah. Yeah, you just got to swing the hammer a few more days and upgrade your living quarters a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that what you do? You got the framing deal, right?
Yeah, I frame houses, man. Yeah. We actually got a big winter storm coming in tomorrow that I'm not looking forward to. So hopefully it doesn't say as much as we're gonna get.
You ever get Coop over there banging our docks together?
No, I don't think Coop's he's worked with me before. We worked for another buddy that bass fishes. We worked downtown Toronto together for a bit, but you could tell that his mind was never in it, and it was always about bass fishing.
Yeah. See ya.
Yeah.
Man, you got a bit of a swindle story going on. You kind of look like him too, like in your little picture box here. He was framing houses too.
Yeah, I remember I listened to one of his podcasts, and he said that he started with framing before he got into it. So yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I've been working hard and trying to save every dollar, and it's been good. My boss, Sean's amazing. He's letting me take pretty much, going to end up being about 3 months off the way you swing it. So it'll be, he's letting me do it, and couldn't do it without him. So yeah, it's going to be an awesome year.
Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Coop, you got any tips for Danny doing all 9?
Stay away from the talk. I've already told him. I don't know. From my experience, it hurts you 98% of the time, for sure.
Who's got you real bad? You talk about dock talk a lot. Like, you've obviously been scorched by it.
Who's got you real bad?
You don't have to use a name, but like, what's you got any stories where dock talk has just sewered you, or was it like in your young days?
But like, looking back, I'm like, I spent way too much time trying to do something that someone told me to do. Or I spent way too much time trying to find something that someone told me to try and go find. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, like, I don't know. It's just my opinion. Like, I find it so hard to, and you always hear it, to fish for someone else's fish. Like,
I'm gonna back Coop. We always used to stay, how we talked about bumming it or whatever. We've stayed with a lot of guys over the years, like just wherever it may be, in the backs of the trucks and stuff. And you always hear someone doing something different. Always. There's always going to be a bunch of guys saying that they're doing something that you're not doing. And I agree with Coop. It definitely gets in your head a bit, especially if you're not finding nothing during practice and you start kind of overthinking it.
Yep.
Oh.
100%. But yeah, Dan, I think my biggest piece of advice to you, and I've told you before, do your own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't listen to dog talk. Do what you feel comfortable doing, and just catch them. You'll catch them.
What's your deal, Dan? I know you're a good angler. I follow. I watched you tan Coop's ass at a derby this fall, or is it in the summer? Is it on St. Lawrence?
I don't know, when we kind of go back and forth with the catching him. I mean, some days he wears me out. He did on the St. Lawrence the one day. He made me look like a fool, but
no. I mean, when you guys are running individual boats for that.
Oh yeah, that was at the regionals, the Bass regionals. Yeah, that was a good event. I caught the heck out of him there. It was pretty cool. Yeah, so just kind of, it's the same thing as what Cooper just said. I just had it in my mind that I was making the long run. I didn't care what anybody else was doing. I didn't spend a day at practice up where the launch was. I knew it was going to be one down where I went. And I said, I just need to not listen to anybody and just go down and do my own thing. And yeah, it worked out good. So yeah, to what Cooper said earlier, I totally agree. Got to do your own thing.
Nice one. Do you guys fish alike? Or do you have different like strengths?
I don't know. What would you say, Coop?
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like, we definitely fish alike in certain techniques, 100%. sure.
I know, Coop, you like being off the bank. You like being offshore.
Oh, I definitely would agree with that. I'm the same way.
Yeah. Your Garmin shirt kind of gave it away too.
I'll be doing some scoping this year for sure. Yeah.
I don't think I'll be looking at the live scope up until the third last derby.
Yeah, well, and then you'll be glued to it for 3 straight.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, 3 straight smallmouth derbies.
That's a good northern swing for you boys.
Yeah. That's a healthy little
We're heading to the St. Lawrence too, Brucey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
That'll be a fun one.
Mixing that into the mud holes.
Did you guys figure out if the lake's closed or open? I've heard so many different things.
I've heard that's closed.
It's going to be closed by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Man.
Which is a bummer.
I guess the only time it was open out of there is when they couldn't cross over into Canada because of the COVID regs. So that's why they've opened it out of wherever the takeoff is, Messina. I guess that's why they opened it that one year, but in standard years like this year, it sounds like it'll be closed.
Well, aren't we out? We're out of Waddington too, are we not? Or are we out of Messina?
No, it's Waddington. You're right.
So
that's way back though, hey? Like 60, 70 miles?
Yeah, so that tournament that me and Cooper did in the spring, not the spring, but in the early season here, that was out of Waddington too, and it was all of 70 miles to the 70 miles downriver to where I was. And we got blessed with an amazing week of weather when we were there. It was flat the entire time.
But everything was open for that?
The lake wasn't open. No, it was closed at the ferry.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it's kind of the exact same deal. I think the same cutoff. So I just think that time of year that the Open's going to be there could be a little bit worse weather.
Yeah.
Like I know when we fished the Thousand Islands Open this year, Coop will tell you it was some gnarly weather when we were out there.
Oh,
it's the week before. So yeah, it tends to be pretty windy down on the lake that time of year.
Boat breaker.
Oh yeah.
Even the river can get nasty.
The old Triton's getting a new transom done right now though, so she'll be ready to rock.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, she's in the shop right now. It's gonna be a nail biter nice and close for when we're leaving, but yeah, she's getting a little bit of a makeover before the season.
Nice. You throw some new heat on it for electronics too?
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of new Garmin's going on it and got the poles last fall, so it's going to be pretty pimped out, the old Triton.
Heck yeah, bud. What year is that rig?
Yeah, it's a 99.
Oh, yeah.
TR21. Yeah. Everybody was laughing at me at the regionals because I got new seats and they just happened to be Phoenix seats. And I didn't put any logos over them. And Hank took a picture at our blast off or whatever. It just looked pretty funny seeing the Phoenix seats and the Triton boat.
Yeah, you should hop in some MLFs. The Phoenix pays big contingency.
Shoot.
That's funny. Imagine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could skate it.
Oh, it's a good boat, man. I've been out in some really rough stuff in it, and it's treated me well. So. Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah, glad to hear, man.
Oh,
yeah, you got to be licking your chops at that St. Lawrence. Did you sign up for that, Coop? I know the Bassmaster guys can, like, I was like, oh, okay, they won't be able to fish it because of the cutoff, but it's actually, you can.
Yeah, I won't be doing it. I want to, but I don't know.
For all 3, hey,
he says that now. You wait. He'll be jumping on that waiting list.
It's too late now. I think if I signed up now, I wouldn't get in, even if I got on the waiting list. But I don't honestly, like, I was gonna do it like early on, like when I found out I qualified and everything. I started punching everything in the calendar, and I did punch the one division in my calendar, like I was gonna do it.
Yeah.
And things just started coming up. I'm like, man, I'm not gonna do it. It's just too much, and I don't want it to take away from my focus on the elites, especially in my first year. I kind of want to just focus on the elites, and that's it.
Yeah. Spoken like a veteran, bud.
I would love to fish it, but it's just too much for me right now between the multi-species stuff we do and everything else going on.
Yeah. No, I hear that. That makes a lot of sense. Most guys your age would just bite off way more than they could chew. And
I still sign up. We'll see.
Yeah.
I think the brothers might be fishing her. I was talking to Chris the other day, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be jumping in that one.
Oh, 100%.
It'd be
I would have bet my life on that. Dude, Corey fished Sturgeon Bay this year.
Yeah.
Like Gussie looked at it, Chris looked at it, because you could, like, he had to borrow a boat. He borrowed a walleye boat, like this huge 622 or whatever it was, like a 22-foot walleye boat, mega power pole wrap, like full windshield, and fished the tournament. Like whatever, would have practiced for a couple days, fished the derby, and then right after he had to fly to Lake Fork, like fly from Sturgeon Bay that night. So we were leaving there, and there's like this power pole boat just parked behind a dumpster in the parking lot. Corey's out of there. I think he's fishing with Lynn. I think he had to leave him with all the equipment and everything. So he would have needed like a totally separate set of rods, rigged and tackle. And it was just like, oh, and he ended up. Yeah, he ended up not catching them too. So it was like, wow, that's losing a lot of sleep and a lot of grind for. Well, it ended up being nothing. Obviously, he's won that thing enough where I could
them boys straight up love derbies. That's one thing.
Yeah,
Corey's down there right now. He's fishing the Toyota on the Harris chain.
Yeah, he had the best Facebook post I've seen all year.
Oh,
what?
Not his scaby bed bug thing.
The bed bug.
Oh, yeah.
Not that one. That was a good follow-up, but it was like 2 weeks ago. Me and Gussie were laughing about it. He wrote, he's like, hey, I need a co-angler to link with on the Harris chain.
That's funny.
And then the next line just says, you will not be fishing with me, period.
It happened last year. He was wanting to link with someone, and everybody thought that meant that he needed a partner for the event.
Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe at least thought that he'd pre-fish with them or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty damn funny. Yeah, I'd be curious to see how that shakes out. There's one on Rayburn this week too, hey Coop?
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah, an MLFer.
Huh?
Really? I didn't actually know that.
Boys will be minnowing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I caught a bunch of that thing when we were down. It was fun. I was in like 40 feet of water catching largemouth down 4 feet chasing bait. It was the coolest thing ever. Like no timber around, nothing. Just like a long sloping bank with some ditches mixed in. Like they weren't in the ditches. Some of them were, but they were just like suspended out in the middle of nowhere off this one nice big flat that led out into the main lake. And it was fun on day 2. I should have done it on day 1, but day 2 I went and did it for like 2 hours. No big ones, but like you could catch a limit pretty quickly of like 10, 12 pounds, 13 pounds. It was fun.
Oh, baby. Yeah, if you don't know what we're talking about, it's the Smeltinator jig head with your choice of trailer. I prefer the Z-Man. Coop prefers the X-Zone. He's he's done a lot of damage on that thing this year. That's turning into your favorite rig, it seems like.
Yeah, the hot shot minnow, it's good. Super good.
Are you on the mope program, Danny?
Yeah, I'll be doing a little bit of moping.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm in the ice fishing mode still. It's kind of weird. Just spent the whole weekend on the Bay of Quinte. Be going out there this weekend too, sleeping out overnight, trying to catch some walleyes.
Heck yeah, bud. It can't hurt. It can't hurt. I was thinking about that because like guys are down pre-practicing for Eufala as we speak.
Yeah.
Like right now.
I try not to even think about that because I'm only getting the 5 days, so I don't even care.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like, oh man, like it's are you falling behind a little bit already, not having your gear dialed? But when you're ice fishing, you're still playing with your scope.
Yeah.
You get more dialed at picking up like subtle things, and you're still fighting fish. Like
for sure.
You're still fishing. It's it can't hurt. Like I was on the lake trout program all weekend too, and I was like, yeah, got to test out the drags on some new reels. Like just slapped them onto my ice fishing rods, like reels I haven't used before that I know I'm going to be using in the tournament.
Yeah,
like,
sweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't ice fish anymore, eh, Coop?
No, I always say I'm not a huge fan. But when I do get out, with the boys, like we have fun. I really do enjoy it when we're out there. But yeah, I don't know. I just kind of like to take it easy throughout the winter and just prepare for the open water season. It is fun though, especially if you're catching them. Like, even if you're not, like when you're with the boys, you know, you got all the huts set up and you're yelling at each other. Boys over there hooking up, and you're just communicating. You're just yelling at each other hut to hut. It's pretty
Yeah, the social aspect of it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And,
The walking.
even the walking, you guys have to walk where you're from, hey?
Oh yeah, it's sketchy ice down where we are, Brucey.
And that's another reason why I don't like it that much. Ice scares me. Like thin ice falling through, that's like my worst nightmare.
Have you gone through before?
Nope. I've had nightmares about it though. I'm the type of person that would panic and just sink to the bottom.
I don't think you're the best swimmer too, eh, Coop?
No, I'm not. Like if you dumped me out, you threw me out of the boat in the middle of, I don't know, a kilometer off the bank in Lake Ontario, I'm dead for sure.
Yeah, do you just like get a little panicked out, or you just don't have the stroke dialed, or what's going on there?
I don't even know what it is. I just like I can tread water. It's not like I'm doggy paddling, but like I definitely can swim a kilometer. There's no way.
No, you better stay away from Caleb Summerall near the shoreline. Then I saw what he did to Taku. He launched him like a damn cannonball.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
You're buddied up with him anyway, though, aren't you?
Yeah, Caleb's awesome.
Yeah, you don't got to worry about him like shot putting you out into the middle of the lake or nothing.
He's such a good dude. I hope not.
I'm sure Matt Robertson will try, but he might be throwing him in the lake.
Have you wrestled Robertson yet?
He's been hustling. He's lost a bunch of weight. He's working out every day.
I know. I saw that.
Huh.
Oh boy, man, you're gonna have fun with that crew this year, I would imagine. That's gonna be a good time.
It'll be good. Like I said, I'll be doing my own thing, but like we'll still get out for dinners and stuff for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure Mercer will be all over you, and I don't know, man. I feel like you're kind of the story. You're getting shout outs from all over the fishing world. Like I was listening to a podcast in the fall. It was Keith Poche on it talking about the whole gong show on the Red River. And in the middle of it, he's just like, shout out Coop Gallant, just for no reason, just like fired you a shout out. And I'm, it's like, there's some pretty big anticipation coming with you. So man, we can't wait to watch. Like it's going to be fun to be there on the opens, but like, it's going to be pretty damn cool to watch your first year, man. There's a lot of people.
I'm looking forward to it for sure. It's not going to be easy. I know that. It's going to be tough for sure. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I just want to get started, get to Okeechobee and pick up the heavy sticks and just get the season off. It's been a while. I haven't gone long without making a cast in forever, so I'm looking forward to getting down to Florida a little early. I'm going to fish a few lakes down there, probably do like the Kissimmee chain, breaking the boat, just get everything kind of dialed and fish for 2 or 3 days prior on a different lake.
Yeah. No, that's going to Kissimmee would be the hardcore route. Most guys just go to those little lakes that you can just go pepper on them.
Are you headed down early, Brucey, or are you going down right before our first one?
Buddy, every single tournament, like I'm in the same boat as you. We got 9 tournaments this year. I got 9 weeks off, give or take a couple like Fridays. So it's going to be drive down, leave Thursday night after work, drive through the night, drive there the rest of the way Friday, because they're all 25 to 30 hours. And then
God, I keep forgetting you're an extra 12 from us, man. That's gnarly.
Yeah, so I'm going to shut her down on Friday night, God willing, everything goes well, and then start the practice Saturday morning. Yep. Drive my ass back home on the weekend for work on Monday, and I'm sure you're not in too much of a different scenario.
The exact same. Yeah, I'll be unless one of us pulls off an old coop like you did on Cherokee, then I'm sure I'll stay down there for a couple extra days and party it up with you. But yeah, I'm gonna be coming back and working in between like crazy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one ever said it was going to be easy, but I mean, I say it on here all the time. I feel like guys like us are going to probably enjoy it a little bit more, you know, when you got to work your way down there. Like
Oh,
Coop
yeah.
did, like when you appreciate being down there and appreciate the effort it takes to, you know, there's a big barrier to entry from being from Canada. There's a million different things. I'm sure Coop's deep in those right now, but
Oh, yeah.
you know, when you finally get down there and you work your way down there, like you said, swinging the hammer, or
Mm-hmm.
doing whatever you're doing, then you're gonna enjoy every damn minute out there, and
Oh,
probably not gonna waste any.
No, working hard's definitely. Hopefully, it pays off for us, man. I'd really like to see some more Canadians down in the south in the future.
Yeah, there's 4 on the list. Do you boys know any of these other guys?
Yeah. We are actually friends with Ryan. He's a young guy like us that really wants to do it.
Yeah.
And then Evan Kung, he's young. He used to be in our Port Perry Bass Club.
Yeah.
Both of them boys are young. They just want to do it the same as we do. They just love the sport and they just want to go and give it a try. But yeah, them 2 boys, and I don't know other than you, Brucey, and them 2. I don't know who else is.
I think there's one more.
Ryan's buddy from out Ottawa way or something's doing it. I don't know his name, but he's doing it too.
Nice. Yeah, so I was shocked when I saw I thought for sure it was just going to be me and you.
Yeah. Ryan messaged me, and he's taken a lot of time off. He was messaging me the other night, and I think he's got like the better part of the year off, man. So he's going to be going down and spending like weeks on end down there, going lake to lake. So yeah, he'll be one to watch too, man.
Yeah. For Eufala, when are you heading down?
The exact same as you, dude. I'll be rolling out the 23rd night, I think, and driving through the night and getting there on that Friday. I'd like to get there Friday, the day before the first day of practice, and kind of just get dialed in and maybe take the boat out for a spin somewhere else.
Do you have water you can go test your boat on around your house? Like, what's going on there?
No, not really. I know what's going to be going on with it. It's all good. I just had to get it's not getting a whole new transom, but it's getting some new holes drilled for the motor, and then the motor's going back on. So everything's good. But I'm hoping to get out for a couple hours that day before the practice and kind of run around. But
yeah. I'd be right on.
Yeah, it's going to be good, man.
What lake are you guys both looking forward to the most, other than the St. Lawrence?
Oof. Well, you go first, Brucey. I got to think about that one.
Hartwell? No, I'm just kidding. That's not.
You were scaring me. I'm like, what are you talking about?
No, I'm just kidding. That is my favorite lake I've been to in the south, though. I wish
that is a cool lake.
Oh, it's funny, the best, man. I've only got 5 days on it, so I don't know much about it, but that was the funnest place I've ever been. But yeah, I don't know. The schedule, like maybe like that Lake of the Ozarks is going to be real tough, but that might be cool. Wheeler Lake, I guess,
I think
might be good.
Wheeler's probably my favorite one that I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
what are you looking forward to, Coop?
St. Lawrence.
Come on. You just gave us that caveat on your last little podcast question you created there.
I don't know, man. Honestly, there's not one that like really, like, obviously the 3 northerns, like, I'm looking forward to the most. I don't know. I'm trying to just like not think about any other event other than the one that's next, honestly. Like, I haven't thought about any other event this year other than Okeechobee. And that's kind of how I did it last year. Like, I kind of just like taking one at a time. But if I were to, it would obviously be the northerns. I'm really looking forward to the northern thing, but try not to think about it just yet.
Yeah. All right. Well, we won't mess you up there. What are you looking least forward to, Danny?
I don't know, man. I'm not really the least looking forward to any of them. I can't wait to go to every place. I don't have one that I'm like, ooh, God, like I don't really want to go there.
No,
I'm excited to see how each one. I'm sure we'll get to some tough ones. I've said the schedule 100 times to people that have fished down there, and they go, "Ooh, you're not gonna like this one. Ooh, you're not gonna like that one." And I don't know. I take everything with a grain of salt. Decide when you get there. I'm sure some of them, though, I'll be wanting to blow my head off after a couple days of practice.
Oh, yeah, that first one on Eufala is pretty terrifying to me. Not just because it's a season opener. Like, I've just, yeah.
Have you fished Eufala before?
No.
No?
No. I fished Gunnersville that time of year 1 week and Chickamauga that time of year 1 week, and that was
cool.
That was it. So I'd imagine you haven't been there either.
Nope, I haven't fished Eufala at all. No.
Coop's going to Seminole like the week before, so they're only an hour and a half away.
Is that what it is? You guys are at Eufala a week after us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Come down, Coop.
Come watch Danny hoist, bud.
Yeah, I might come hang out for the weekend.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually, though, because I think we have a pretty big break after that.
Yeah, you got the Classic after that.
Yeah.
You got like a month in between.
Yep.
There you go, bud. You come pre-fish for us.
Now I'm going to come watch one of you host a brown trophy.
Oh, is that what color they are? I thought they were blue.
Nope,
they're brown, aren't they?
Yeah.
I don't know. You're the only guy with one. I better not question your
black or brown. I think it's black and brown. And it's like
behind you. You don't have her all teed up.
Yeah, it's right over there. I don't want to show you. My room is disgustingly gross right now. Boxes everywhere.
We always
garbage.
We always joke. Even when I first saw Cooper's trophy when we had the party for him after he won, everybody kept bugging me to go up and touch it, and I said I ain't ever touching that thing until it's mine. I go to Chris's quite a bit too to hang out, and his blue trophy's right staring at me every time when we watch TV, and I will never touch that thing.
Oh man, that's funny. I wish I could say the same. We a few years ago we were down in Florida, and we were staying at the same place as Carl. Like we had a house with Gussie and Brian Gus and everyone, and Carl came and stayed for a couple nights, and he was showing us through that crazy Lance camper he's got. And he had just won that 10 killer trophy that fall. And it's sitting there like, you know, it's a little camper. So the trophy's taken up like that's just where your eyes go. And we're staring at it. And Carl's like, go on, mate, grab it. Gussie's like, I'm not touching that thing. And Brian just looks at me. He's like, I'll grab it. He grabbed it, and then I grabbed it, and we got a picture with it. We've definitely hoisted Gussie's in his garage before, and if there's any kind of luck factor there, I ain't ever touching one of those because I've tarnished it.
Yeah. Dan, remember we touched the Forestwood Cup?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we got a picture of us both touching it, and it was in that year's magazine. Actually, I laugh at that every time I see that.
Yeah,
man, that was probably the last year of the cup. You guys cursed that thing.
I know, that's what I'm saying. And like we wanted to make it to the Forestwood Cup so bad through the international division. We went down for 2 or 3 of the years. I think it was the last year we were down there on Gunnersville. I remember touching it, and then they just stopped the international division.
Yeah, it probably got all pitted up like when you put oily hands on a nice blued rifle barrel.
Yeah. No,
oh, that's awesome, man.
I'm watching Jason Christie on the TV behind you guys.
Classic.
Yeah, it's just the rerun video that Bass put out of all the wins from last year.
Oh yeah, we watched that one the other night.
Yeah, it's cool.
How much do you like? Have you been watching the LubeTube videos hard? Do you boys both do that?
I'm not really big into that, man. Somebody else just asked me that this week if I'm like pumping the Eufala videos, like watching all kinds of stuff, and I'll throw it on from time to time. But I like to go down there with an open mind. I don't just get down into it and get my own game plan rolling. I've done a little bit of research, and I talked to some guys last year about it, just a little bit. But yeah, no, I don't really get into the YouTube. Just watch deer hunting YouTube videos now.
Yeah, that's your thing. I saw you sniped a big beauty this fall. First time too.
Yeah, that was my first one. Yeah, it was a beauty, man. I had my buddy Greg there, Greg Attard. He was actually in the stand with me and got it all on film, and I didn't even know he was filming. It was a wild experience.
You got to post that video. I want to see it.
Yeah, I got a little reel that Greg made actually, and it was just a really gnarly hunt, man. Like there was deers coming in for an hour before he came in, and had to sit still, and it was epic, unreal.
Oh yeah, I'll check that one out.
Oh
That
yeah,
guy's all about the big critters lately. He dusted that giant muskie on Lac Seul this fall too.
yeah. He's another guy like you. Greg's one of our best friends. We've been hanging out with him. He's actually up on Lake Winnipeg right now, guiding walleyes for Canuck Outfitters. He's up there now, and he's just a diehard man. He loves it.
Yeah, Coop brought him up in the damn Winnebago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the first time I met you. You guys showed up in that thing. And Greg was with you, and Moose, and I think Colin was with you too. I don't know who else.
Yeah, it was us four. That was awesome. I want to do it again so bad. We did it last year, but we didn't quite get up to where you guys were. We just went to Nipigon. You guys were like,
that's a big chunk of land across from Nipigon to here still.
Yeah.
That's another like 6-7 hours.
Oh yeah, at least I think.
She's a haul. You guys went to you went to the East Coast this year?
Yeah, we did Outer Banks. That was awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the video done. I'm about halfway done. It's got to be out before I leave, so I'm gonna try and get up super early tomorrow and put a few hours into to get a good chunk done. But I'm hoping to get it done by the end of the week next week.
Man, you put some freaking work into those videos, hey?
Yeah, it's just time consuming, especially the road trip videos, because like we're filming so much, and typically when we go on these trips, we're gone for 7 or 8 days, and you're filming every day. And then like the trip we did to the Outer Banks, we're filming all night. We're fishing most nights, so there's so much footage, and this one's a tough one to edit because most of our catching, Dan, was at night.
Yeah, there's a lot of night stuff, and then it didn't help that his brother crashed the drone on the second day, so there won't be all kinds of cool drone footage.
It'll help the editing process.
Yeah, it'll help the editing.
We have all this awesome footage throughout the day, like of us talking and good stuff throughout the day, but we don't catch really anything throughout the day. It's all at night, so it's hard to link everything up nicely. It's like one of the hardest ones I've had to edit, but slowly getting there.
Nice one. Are you going full breach on the videos this year? Like same deal?
Yep, exact same. Switching it up a little bit more like behind the scenes and
nice
and things like that.
Yeah, bud. That's the juice. That seems to be what people want to watch.
Oh yeah.
Like the old circuit breaker.
Oh, we love that, man.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. We were talking about it on Straycast the other night. Just how good it was.
Oh yeah, Casey Martin.
When me and Dan grew up fishing the high school tournaments, and even the junior tournaments, we would literally, Dan, we would watch that like the night before a derby.
Oh yeah, I could still sing that song right now. I used to get all fired up.
What's the song? I don't remember it.
Well,
it was when Casey Martin was throwing that big A-rig on. I think it was Chickamauga. Yeah. And he caught over 100 pounds. I'll never forget that.
His last derby of the year.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And he's actually a Canadian boy too, eh?
Yeah. I think he married a girl from down there, and I think he still guides on Gunnersville. You see see his head pop up, like there'll be like a 35-pound bag once in a while, and his face is attached to it.
Yeah, he destroys some events on Gunnersville, like some of their local big events, obviously, but yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah, man, that's a stark reminder to the pro fisherman life. Like he did good. He had a win. He had the circuit breaker thing going. He guided on the side, and it was still like, I don't know if he stepped out of it just because he wasn't into it or what, or if it was just too much of like a grind. But he just seemed like one of those guys that was going to be around forever, didn't he?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. What do you think about I was going to ask you about the 9 now, Brucey. How do you think it's going to be for the qualification?
I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah, bud.
For our opens.
Oh man, I was so bummed when I saw that. I don't know how you felt when it went to 9.
I don't know. I didn't really know how to think about it. I knew that instead of focusing all your knowledge on one division out of it, like there was always that one division that you looked at and you were like, I need to put my time in on this one. Now you have to, I think it's going to produce an all around better angler though. If I had to think about like a guy that's going to qualify for the elites, if he can straight up fish everywhere around the country, he deserves to make it to the elites. So in that sense, I think it's going to be cool that way, but it's going to be cutthroat, man, especially seeing 175 guys signed up for all 9.
That was a shock, man. I honestly thought there were going to be 70 guys.
Yeah. I was listening to Panger's podcast and he had said that he thinks that there's going to be over 100. And I don't know who he had on, but they're like, there's no way there's going to be over 100.
He had already known then, though.
Yeah, I think he did already know.
He already had the juice. And I knew way before, too. I knew like a few days after just because of a buddy's sponsor is one of the open sponsors. So there's a bit of an inside leak there.
Yeah.
Just to how many guys there were. And I was like, crazy. Please don't be accurate.
Yeah, no, it's really crazy. I don't know how many you'll see at the end of the season. Like, I don't know if you'll, like, I'm assuming some guys are going to have a tough bunch of events leading up to the end of the season. So I don't know if you'll see all 175 guys by the end of it, but it's going to be, it's going to come down to the very last event for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I've been looking at it like, okay, you fish 9, you go 0 in your first event. You can probably still technically make it if you light the world on fire. If you fish your next event and get 150th, you're out.
Yeah.
Like, do you still fish the next 7? Like, because you can go to the Classic.
Yeah, that's another thing.
That lesson and like that's what I'm gonna do. Just grind. If the wheels come off the bus, like I'm not really putting like a whole lot of weight on it.
No.
Just because like mathematically your chances of qualifying for the elites with that field, it's so unlikely that if you pile up all that weight and bomb it, throw it out the window in the first derby, like you're not going to have a great year, in any regard.
Yeah. I agree with that for sure.
Going to the Classic would be unreal.
Oh, I'd love it. I'm going to the Classic to watch my buddy Coop there. I can't wait. We have all of our high school buddies and stuff going. I was actually just talking about this on the weekend, how crazy of an adventure it's going to be. Yeah. It's
going to be awesome. It'll be cool. Yeah. It'll be cool, like, having the family and, like buddies like Danny. And, like, we have a group of buddies coming down that don't even fish.
Yeah, they have no idea. Like, we talk about bass fishing and they always just, whatever, they laugh or whatever, but I just said to them that you have no idea what you're getting yourselves into.
And I guarantee you they enjoy the whole everything about the Classic. Like, you don't even need to like be into fishing, I feel like, to go there and be like, wow. They just the show they put on, and it's just incredible. It's it's pretty cool. So yeah, like having the family down, buddies like Danny and then my brothers, and it's going to be pretty awesome. Just being there with everyone. And yeah, Classic hasn't hit me yet at all.
That thing's coming up.
I know. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah, I come back back up here to work for a week and then drive right back down there to watch Coop.
Are you driving, Dan, or flying?
I think I'm driving.
Yeah. Not bringing the boat?
Not too sure yet. No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Not unless you needed a last minute camera guy, then I might, but I think the boat's staying up here.
I like Team Canada's chances this year.
Me too.
I'm not going, but if one of you boys is in the top 10 by the weekend, I'm hopping on a plane. That's for sure happening. Man, it's crazy when you look at the Classic because it's so, it's so big, but mathematically, you have the best chance at winning it of any tournament you're going to fish this year.
Yep.
Yeah, mathematically for sure. How
Yeah.
many guys are in the classic? 50? 60?
Like 54.
54?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a Tuesday nighter, bud. Yeah, as long as you don't look at the names.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of pre-practice in there about a month back. That place is huge.
Really?
It's massive. Like, you can run for like hours up the river. Endless. A lot of water. It's crazy.
Huh.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
man, it's going to be cool to watch. I'm super excited about it. It'll be a cool venue. It's cool that there's the smallmouth factor.
Yeah.
I hope it plays a little bit. I don't know if it is. Like, I'm sure it will. Like, I'm sure there's definitely going to be smallmouth caught. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're going to see 15 smallmouth over 3 days. Maybe. It's hard to say. It really all depends on a bunch of different things, but I don't know. It'd be nice to be able to figure something out and catch a limit of smallies every day. But I think for me, my best bet is definitely to have some largemouth going 100%. I think it'll be a mixed bag, in my opinion.
That'd be ideal.
That would be ideal.
You or Gussie. You guys can first and second that thing.
What's that?
You and Gussie can first and second it. I'd be on board with that. Knoxville would be running out of Bud Lights that night.
Oh God.
Have you taken a look at? Well, you were down in Florida and you came back and hit a few of these places. Hey, have you taken a look at like a big chunk of these lakes on the schedule, or what's going on there?
So I did Okeechobee for a few days. I did just looking around. Like, I was on the road for, can you remember, 3.5 weeks. Just looking. I might have made 20 casts just because I had to, because it was just like, oh, there's got to be one there kind of thing. And I just felt like catching a bass. Just looking around, like Florida, literally just driving 30 miles an hour for 6 hours. Just seeing as much of the lake as I can. It's huge. After Florida, I zipped up to...
You went to Seminole, didn't you?
Yep. And then before I went to Florida, I went to Lake Murray and Santee Cooper.
Nice.
And I'm glad I did, because like places like Santee and Seminole, like I was more wanting to go there to pre-practice just to learn my way around the lake. Like 80% of the time I spent on those two bodies of water was just me trying to make trails, and because like there are stumps everywhere. There's certain areas of the lake where if you're off 5-10 feet, your motor's gone.
No. Not good. At least you had your old boat. Imagine doing that in your new one. Like,
I know. The last thing I want to do when we get down there, we get 3 days practice. Like, I don't want to spend a full day just learning how to get around you, right? So now going down, I already kind of know where I can and can't go. I've got trails marked, so
yeah, that's good. I mean, they shorten up the practice in these high level tournaments to try to just give you 2.5 days, but it ends up forcing you to pre-practice.
Yep.
Which, yeah, I like the opens layout for practice. I think that's
Me too. It gives us working guys a chance to actually go down, and there'll be a cutoff instead of rolling down. And some guys are spending a month before the event, but 5 days is a lot of time, tons of time.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you could chew it up pretty quick, like Coop said, if you got to navigate around. But
yeah,
I mean, 2.5 days to try to navigate through those stump fields is just like,
you can waste a lot of time, just like, and then it creeps up on you. You look at the time. It's like, holy, I've been like idling and just messing around, not like being productive at all, and I haven't even gone anywhere. There goes 3 hours. It's like, holy. So,
well, we got Danny here. We gotta get some dirt on you, because you're like, you're easily the most hardcore bass angler I've been around. Like, just how you operate, like your headspace, where you what you sleep in and just how you kind of carry yourself. But your gear is a shit show.
Dude, mine are Dan's.
Yours.
Yeah, I know.
I've seen your cardboard boxes that are like soaking wet cardboard boxes.
The thing that
I saw you
pisses
got
me
some
off the
broadstocks
most,
now, so I'm happy to hear about that.
the thing that pisses me off the most is his truck. I've never been able to sit in the passenger seat of any of his trucks ever. There's either a mountain of garbage up to the airbags, or it's full of camera gear and rods and
That's
what
because I
have you.
gotta leave the back open so I can sleep back there.
Oh,
Right. Well, we pulled up to you when the first time I saw you at Hartwell. We met at that ramp, and you opened the back door of your truck. You opened the back door, and like it looked like the truck had sunk. They had pulled it out of the water with a crane, and then you opened the door, and like crayfish and boulders and water came rushing out, like just a pile of garbage.
I don't know.
My co-angler looks at me. He's like, "Whoa." I was like, "Yeah, he's focused on one thing and one thing only, bud. It ain't his truck."
I'm pretty unorganized, but man, that's the I'm blaming it on this, but problem is I'm on the road for so long. It's like I have so much stuff, and it all gets packed nicely. Second I get down there, I start ripping stuff out, and it's like I just start throwing stuff back in, and it's just I don't know. Maybe I just need to start packing a little lighter.
Some other dirt I will have to say too is he is the worst on earth at getting up in the morning.
Yeah.
You want to talk about 12 to 15 alarms going off? He needs all of them to get up.
Yeah, I press at least. Like if I want to get up at 6, I'll set it for like 5:15. I like waking up and being like, nice, I got an extra 40 minutes to sleep.
Yeah.
Right?
I hear that.
But no, I know Dan hates that. He's like full on like
sometimes I get so mad that I think that he's doing it on purpose, because I'll see a little grin or something and he'll be happy, and I'll think that he's just trying to piss me off.
Yeah, we've almost gotten a few scraps because of
that. So I got a good story from Adam Rasmussen, who was staying at the same campground as you at the Red River. And he's like, man, that coop was up at like 4:30 every day. Like it was unreal how early he got up. And I was like, what? Like Coop Gallant? Like he'll fish till dark, but I know you're probably the first guy at the ramp lots too, but I know you like to sleep.
yeah.
But he said you were getting up early enough to where you didn't have to pay the ramp fee.
That's a fact.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was like, man, that was a grinder. I needed to be out there first thing. I needed to put in the work on that place. That was the worst derby I had all year. That I don't even like, man, it was brutal. And the problem is, the worst part about it is everything like it looks awesome, like gorgeous mat, wicked looking water, pad fields, and there's so many different things you can do. You can fish rock, you can punch, you can frog, you can do a bunch of different stuff. You can fish wood. It all looks so good, but it's toughest tournament, toughest fish I've ever been to by far. Like Dan, worse than Winyah Bay when we were there, and the water was 90. It was bad.
Yeah.
How many bass did you catch? I remember like you were pumped. You caught some bass.
Yeah, I caught 3 bass.
Yeah, you think you got 3
a day or total?
So in practice, in 5 days of practice, I think I caught 3 bass. I think, and then day 1 I caught 3. Day 2 I caught 2, and I was pumped. I ended up in like 120th or something. But like
still beat 100 guys.
As crazy as it sounds, I was stoked about it. Like I was cheesing after day 1.
Yeah, well, you had a reason to. I mean, you would have, had you needed it, that would have been your tournament you needed to survive into if you needed to qualify through all divisions, right?
Yeah.
You made it through the Southerns anyway, but that would have held you in there.
yeah, like if I didn't catch a fish both days, like that, like I knew I needed to catch a couple a day to stay in it and just survive. And yeah, that place definitely isn't the place you want to go if you want to go catch some bass and have some fun.
Yeah. I can't say that had last year's schedule been this year that I would have signed up for all 9.
Yeah, like right when this schedule came out, that was like one of the first things I talked to Coop about was there was no like real like Red River events. Like I don't know, maybe I'm sure there's going to be a couple events where it is going to be that tough, but yeah, there's no
swamps and there's no tides.
Yeah, there's no tides. I was going to say that. Yeah,
that's right. I never even thought about that.
Which maybe isn't a great way to look at it because you're eventually going to have to run into some tidal fisheries on the elites.
We've actually had some fun on some tidal fisheries, man. I love
fisheries.
I liked the James River a lot, and I liked Winyah Bay when we were there too.
Yep.
Well, the James River's loaded though. Hey, like that's the best one.
Yeah, I think that was. There's some good ones there.
Nice. All right, boys. Well, I won't tie you up any longer. Man, I'm sure we could talk for hours about your derby stories together. Like, didn't even really get into anything there. Well, we'll have to line her up again one day. I'm sure there's plenty of stories and plenty of chirps. But man, happy to be able to follow you guys. It's it's awesome having a horse in the race on the elites and going to be able to watch Danny too. And man, it's sweet. This Canadian wave doesn't seem to be slowing down, and I'm glad you boys are carrying the torch.
Thank you. You too, Brucey. I'm pumped to see you down there.
I'm just going for the vacation, bud.
Oh,
don't pick me in any Calcuttas or anything like that.
Thanks for having me.
Fun. Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Yeah, boys.
Looking forward to seeing you boys next year. We'll keep in touch and smash them.
Absolutely, bud. Good luck at the first one. We'll be watching you close, and happy rigging to both of you boys.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, cheers, fellas. Thanks for coming on.
Yep, thank you. See you later.
See you, boys.